In modern banking and payments platforms, APIs are the backbone of everything. From balance checks and card authorizations to onboarding, fraud detection, settlements, and real-time payments, almost every critical flow depends on reliable API communication. Systems scale and architectures move toward microservices and event-driven designs. The risk of integration failures grows rapidly. When dozens or even hundreds of services and third-party partners exchange data, a single mismatched field or undocumented response can break entire payment flows. That's where automated contract testing becomes essential. It's no longer a nice-to-have, it's the only scalable way to guarantee interoperability across distributed financial systems. As engineers working on core banking and payments infrastructures, we've seen how small changes can cause major incidents. A renamed field, an unexpected enum value, or a missing error code can disrupt SEPA transfers, card processing, or reconciliation jobs, often at the worst possible moment. Contract testing catches these issues early, long before they reach integration or UAT environments. By contract testing matters in banking and payments. Unlike traditional integration testing, contract testing validates expectations between service providers and consumers without deploying the entire system. This is especially important in fintech environments where microservices exchange schemas through Kafka topics. API gateways enforce strict validation. External partners evolve at different speeds, and regulators expect predictable, auditable results. When milliseconds matter and penalties are real, contract testing becomes a core engineering safety net. How contract testing works? The principle is simple. If both the provider and the consumer agree on a contract, integrations should never break. Consumers define their expectations fields, formats, and response codes. Providers verify that their APIs respect those expectations. Contracts are stored in a shared registry, and CI/CD pipelines validate them automatically during deployments. This means breaking changes are detected immediately before they ever reach production. A realistic payments scenario. Imagine a payment authorization service used by fraud detection, ledgering notifications, and real-time reporting. If a back-end change alters a response field without updating consumers, contract tests fail instantly. The issue is caught in CI, not after money starts moving. This is exactly the kind of protection high-throughput payment systems need. Operational and regulatory benefits. Contract testing directly supports key banking requirements. Zero downtime deployments with backward compatibility. Integrations with the PSPs and fintech partners. Strong auditability for compliance teams for production incidents in critical flows like ISO 20022 payments, AML checks, and settlement processing. Faster development cycles without waiting on shared environment. One of the rare practices that improves both delivery speed and system safety. Embedding contract testing into CI/CD. Regulated environments. Contract testing should be fully automated. Simple CI steps can verify contracts on every pull request, ensuring no breaking changes are merged unnoticed. This approach turns contracts into enforceable engineering rules, not documentation that gets ignored. Common pitfalls to avoid. Experienced teams make mistakes, treating contracts as static docs instead of executable. Test skipping error scenarios like insufficient funds or AML flags. Replacing contracts instead of versioning them or using contract tests as a substitute for end-to-end testing. Contract testing complements integration. Testing it doesn't replace it. To wrap it up, in modern banking and payments ecosystems, interoperability is not optional. Automated contract testing ensures every service behaves exactly as its consumers expect, even as platforms evolve. For fintech teams operating under regulatory pressure, it's one of the most effective ways to reduce integration risk while accelerating delivery. We embed contract testing into CI/CD pipelines for banking and payments platforms from day one. We help teams design API contracts, automate verification, and build resilient integrations across microservices and third-party providers. If you're scaling a fintech platform or modernizing a core banking system, let's talk about how we do this in real-world production environments. Check out the article, Automated Contract Testing, on our blog, for example. Code snippets that show how consumer contracts are defined and how providers verify them during builds.